everyone, and welcome back to our Ellipse Unsealed podcast. Once again, you have me and Mr. Bobby Small, and today we are welcoming our guest star, Ryan Harris. Hi, Ryan.
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks for joining us today.
No problem. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want to kind of just start us off by telling us who you are, what you do, your Dynamics journey, whatever fun fact?
Yeah, you look familiar to me. I don't know where I've seen you before.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit. I'm Ryan Harris. I'm the marketing manager here at Doug, and I'm based in Columbus, Ohio. It's really quite a mix of weather around here, but it's sunny and 72 on the day of this recording, so
yeah,
it's fantastic for the early spring.
I think I just sent that weather to you. It was 70s here just over the weekend in Colorado. So
that's
that way.
That's good. We're getting that weather, good weather started for live in May then.
Yeah.
So based in Columbus, Ohio, and I actually started my Dynamics user group, community, all of that, the product itself. Started that journey with, as you guys know, with Ellipse Solutions back in June 2015. Spent about 7 years with the Ellipse crew in Dayton there, and I always tell people, I always tell them I'm very fortunate that I got to start with you guys as a partner, because it was a partner that truly understands the value of the community support when it comes to the business applications, whether that's at the local level, the regional level, the national level, webinars, a lot of that networking and that education. It really helps people get through the product on a day-to-day basis. So
yeah, I completely agree with that. By the way, when I got hired on at Ellipse, one of the things I asked very specifically is like, what was the community involvement like? Because I was big into the community well before that, and it spent 7-8 years at a community level, many more years in Dynamics, but at a community level, about 7 or 8 years as a leader and joining all the different local and regional and live events around the country. And so that was a big deal, and finding out where Ellipse, stood on this point. And like you said, you couldn't have said it better. They really the company values the community education in general. Just being there and being able to educate the users is just so important.
Yep, absolutely. And so from the Ellipse 7 years I spent there, I then was actually at FastPath, so I got to experience that partner side of life, and then at FastPath I got to experience the ISV side of life, again with another company in the community that was very involved with the local user group scene, the national user group scene, and that education. And then when the opportunity came to get right back in the specific Dynamics channel, and work with the Dynamics community like firsthand, couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, they beamed you aboard the mothership. Just pulled you right up in there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. So you've mentioned DynamicsCon Live. Let's just start there. The banner's right behind you. We were talking about the shield I'm in the process of making. It's going to be really cool. So anybody joining us in Denver is gonna get a treat. I got to figure out a costume to go behind the shield, I think is the key, right? Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Live. This will be its 4th year.
Sorry?
This will be the 4th year of Live, I think, right? With San Diego,
yes.
San Antonio, Scottsdale, and now in Denver.
Yep. For anybody that's not aware, it's an in-person conference based on Dynamics 365, Dynamics GP, Power Platform. Trust me, there's going to be plenty of Copilot in there as well, and all the AI topics that we all cannot avoid if we tried to.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, this year it's 3 days in hopefully a sunny and great weather, Denver, Colorado.
Always.
So got over 250 sessions. it's really shaping up to be a great conference this year. So
Yeah, you mentioned like that was a big topic of discussion because we started. Obviously you start programming these things, months in advance, and so just the landscape of Copilot and AI has changed so dramatically from the point when we start programming. So we were trying to be really forward thinking. We met as a overall programming committee with each of the different tracks, GP and like you said, BC, all the different tracks, kind of discussing, how to integrate AI and leaving space to allow it to develop and understand, how best to bring it on board for the event. Knowing that it would be, considerably different from the time when we started to the time when we go live with this thing.
And you probably have even more, at least on the F&O side, you probably have even more in-depth insight on that behind the scenes stuff with the programming committee. But I can't stop myself from poking my head in and out of the sessions every part of the process, and I really do think the programming committees for each product absolutely nailed that great mix of all of the traditional dynamics education, and then how Copilot fits into that scene. So
one thing that I think really differentiates Dynamics Con Live from other larger live events is it still retains some of the intimacy of a smaller event with all the force of like you said 250 educational sessions and looking back to when I started programming, which was in San Antonio, because like I said, we said earlier I wasn't able to make San Diego and wasn't really involved, but started on the programming committee in San Antonio, and between me and Tad and Frank Vukovic from FastPath, where the programming committee leads there, we wanted to create an experience that started from the first session on day one and flowed all the way through to the last session on day whatever. In the first iteration, it was 2-day, then it's moved to 3-day. It was one room, now it's multiple rooms. And what we've been able to do for the F&O side in particular is to keep that flow, which is awesome. I mean, I was concerned because I really like that concept of not missing anything as a user joining this event. It's like a lot of times you go to these events and you're like got to pick and choose and you're lost. Like, hey, I really want to see this and this and this, but I can't because there's just too much. And in this case, we even as it's expanded, we've been able to keep this really nice flow from this first day to the last day. So everybody should be able to market and follow, a track inside the track to get a full, well-rounded educational, event or experience. So I really appreciate it. And along with that is the idea that you're pretty much seeing the same group of folks in these smaller rooms throughout the whole event, which gives you a number of more touch points to network with the folks that you're seeing and talking to, which I really love too. So those are two, I think, unique things about Dynamics Con Live, which make it one that it's hard to miss in my opinion, just because of that. It's just there's a lot more a lot bigger ability to network and to learn from your peers as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's kind of your favorite thing about it, Ryan? I've never been, so I can't really put too much input here, but maybe one of these times I will.
Honestly, I think it's just there's so much positive energy within every, whether it's the users, the partners, the ISVs, the Microsoft folks that'll be on site. There's so much positive energy towards helping people, whatever issues they're going through, whether it's an upgrade, a completely new implementation, because there will be some prospective customers there as well. It's just very, very positive energy, and that's got to be my favorite thing. So
yeah.
So pull back the curtain a little bit and give us a peek at I've been on the programming committee. But maybe anything you can tell us about how your team goes about putting together this event to make it something like this, something unique, where people are feeling, like you said, extra welcome, extra excited to be a part of it.
Absolutely. So really, in anything we do, we've all got varying levels of experience going way back in the channel, to even some of the newer views, and it's everything we approach, we try to approach it with that what is truly going to be best for the community.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we start going down, taking an idea forward, and we're not afraid to change it as we go also,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if we need to. So I think that's probably the biggest thing with live going forward. It's like you said, we're growing at quite the pace here, but always retaining that community and that intimate feel,
Yeah.
and how we can, make people feel comfortable, and getting the help they need. So.
And that's real. Like I said, from the one I started with, which I think in San Antonio, the attendance was around 500, maybe 450, somewhere in that range. And then knowing that it was going to move forward,
like that,
like I was afraid it was going to start to lose that intimacy, but it's retained it, in subsequent events. So that to me is pretty exciting.
And I do think we're still very much on the right track, even with the serious growth this year. I think we're very much on the right track. Everybody on the team is doing a great job of still keeping that close knit feeling to it.
Yeah.
Especially a shout out to Denise Johnson on our team.
Mm-hmm.
The operations that she is managing on this, it's fantastic.
Yep.
What she's been able to do. So.
Yeah.
And I can speak to the programming side of it. We've created again space for folks to get to know each other, and again to just kind of foster that intimacy. So cool.
Definitely. Bobby, you kind of mentioned for people to kind of follow the roadmap of the sessions and things like that. For any maybe like first time attendees out there listening, or even people who have attended before, do you guys have any like solid pieces of advice that you'd recommend for the time in Denver this year?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what track you're on, definitely get in early and look at all the sessions, and just, I mean, I can't emphasize enough, and we'll likely do a whole podcast on this. I think it's a great one on just what things to think about leading into conferences, but you got to do your homework. You got to get in there and see what the sessions are, what time they are, who's leading them, and it's not just to set a schedule, but literally to plan out your session. So if I'm going to a session that's really of interest to me, I want to have questions ready, perhaps that that I can tick off that, oh, this one got answered, this one didn't. Let me ask this question of the room or of the person leading the session, or maybe these get piled up for later to talk to somebody at a superhero station. But do the homework on the sessions you're attending and the different tracks, because it's going to help you when you get back to your office at the end of the conference, to keep that momentum going.
Absolutely. Doing all of that ahead of time will give you a nice leg up, because we're going to clearly try to mark everything on site and give as much clear direction as we can. But if you know kind of ahead of time what sessions you're trying to attend and who you're trying to talk to at what time, it can really help you get a smooth start to the conference. And I'll add one more thing as well. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to network. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. I think I said it on something earlier this year. The people in this community are some of the friendliest you'll meet. I mean, absolutely willing to bend over backwards to help you. So definitely use that resource and get yourself out there.
And for those that are introverted, definitely save up that energy for the conference. Get yourself bundled up and ready to go. And if you see people that are kind of hovering, and you're there and you're the extrovert, open up and let them in, talk to them. Get their conversation going with them. You usually can tell when somebody is on the shy side and trying to get in a conversation. Just kind of be aware of that. If you're in a group and you see somebody kind of hovering, open up the group and get them in. It goes both ways. It's awesome, when you can do that and get people talking that might not otherwise do so, because they're, again, a little shy on how to break into a conversation or ask a question.
Yeah. Yeah, these kinds of events can definitely be overwhelming or quickly drain your social battery a little bit, but it's
Yep.
always great. And like you guys said, everyone's so nice and welcoming, so that really
Yep.
helps out. Is there anything new or exciting that's going to be at DICON this year? I know something that I've seen that's new is the virtual swag bag. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit or anything else that's new.
I can touch on that a bit, and we actually just launched that virtual swag bag online. I see Ellipse has their offer up there as well.
Yeah.
So there's already some offers populated on there, and what I think is really cool about that is everyone can go in there and they can sign up for the offers and to connect with the sponsors that they want to and share their information with ahead of time, and then still connect with them on site. So I think it's good for both the user and the sponsor because the sponsor is able to actually contact that person and capture that data, but also the user is going to get some really cool swag. I mean, if you have not gone to that page yet, please go check it out because there's already some great stuff on there, and I can only imagine there's going to be plenty more added. So
Yeah, that's a really, and it's kind of eco-conscious too, right? Because you're not. I assume this takes the place of an actual swag bag at the conference, or will one still be handed out?
Yep. So this will take place of the physical swag bag. You will still get a water bottle, I think. So there'll still be some, in-person swag you're gonna get regardless from the conference. But as far as this, yeah, we wanted to make the swag bag virtual so people could kind of do this thing ahead of time, and then that still doesn't stop, sponsors like yourselves from giving out cool, uh, funny things at your booth on site. I know
You bet.
Ellipse always has some really, really good tongue-in-cheek stuff in the dynamic space. So.
And just forgive me because I haven't seen it in action. We have seen conceptually, but will the user experience for the swag bag be something where they click on things and then they can always go back to their swag bag, or it's it's in a digital actually spot where that you can see everything that it use. Like if I'm a user and I go and it's like, oh, I like Ellipse and I like FastPath and I like this and I like this and I click on this and I go back to my space, that swag bag has all that stuff listed.
Yep.
Cool.
Should be able to see all of the things that you've selected. So
awesome. Yeah, that's just a great digital idea, way to coordinate this so it can be really fine tuned, and again, it avoids wasting just lots of paper and stuff that might potentially otherwise get thrown away or recycled at some point. Cool.
Yeah, we'll make sure to include that link when we post this for everyone.
You bet. Yeah.
And click there and check it out. But is there anything else that you wanted to mention, Ryan?
I guess one of the biggest things that is new for Dynamics Con Live this year is we've kind of touched on a little bit earlier in this episode, but it's bigger. It is getting bigger. So we have actually already eclipsed last year's total registration in our total attendance in registration this year. So we are very much headed toward 2,000.
Yeah, we know historically people start signing up in the last month. Kind of just a couple month, 6 weeks before people start cramming in those travel plans. So that'll definitely start increasing exponentially here over the course of the next few weeks. I'm excited. Obviously, it's in Denver. I'm located in Denver. I know you're planning some fun stuff. Can you talk about any of like the fun kind of mixing events, networking events that might be happening, or is that still under wraps?
We will definitely have some receptions. I don't want to give away too many details on it yet, but you can definitely expect the welcome reception and the community receptions just as you would in previous years.
Cool.
So there's gonna be a lot of opportunities to network in the evenings, and then as well, definitely I'm talking to a partner right now. Definitely visit with all the sponsors on the expo floor because they're great people. So
yeah, you bet. And I'm sure you've heard of Bobby's Party Bus. I'm hooking that up, so not sure where it'll end up in Denver, but it's going to be a random, like, spin the wheel, and we'll end
yep.
up somewhere in Denver.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be a bus. It might just be my Prius and 2 people, but something's going to happen.
I was gonna say I haven't heard about this.
I just thought of it right now. It's happening. It just was like on the spot. We're gonna do this thing.
Too late to take it back.
Yeah,
now,
no take backs. Right, it's out there.
We're
we
not
can
editing that out.
We can edit. Yeah.
Keeping that in there for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds fun. I think you should do it.
Yeah, no, seriously. I'm gonna see. I was thinking about it. I'm waiting to see. I looked. I don't think there was a great Red Rock. It'd be great if there was a great Red Rocks concert. Or anybody's coming early. Like if you happen to show up on Sunday or Saturday night for some reason, I think they do Sunday morning yoga at Red Rocks, which is awesome. Do yoga at sunrise. Those are just top of mind things, and there's always. I was talking to Rick McCutcheon. He's coming out early. He's going to go down to Colorado Springs. And again, we'll probably do a whole episode on what to do in Denver, so I can really expound. But there's so much to do. It's just really close, within an hour's drive of if you're coming early. So we'll have a lot to talk about there when we get there. Maybe I can do a remote from like Red Rocks or something, Savannah. I'll just do a remote from Red Rocks just for the beautiful aspect of it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well,
I've always wanted to go to a concert there. So
yeah, no, it's the best. I mean, it's just because the natural acoustics, it's just tucked into the side of the mesa there.
Mm-hmm.
The red rock formation is just kind of all around it naturally.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Very cool. Well, we won't spoil all your fun plans until we have our little what to do in Denver episode, I guess.
And that gives me time to plan it out too. I'll have everything pretty much locked and loaded by that point.
Yeah, very cool. Well, nice. Bobby, do you have anything else you want to ask Ryan while we got him here, or anything else you want to mention, Ryan, before we kind of close off?
We should definitely mention the regionals. I'll be traveling up to Seattle here in just a few weeks, which I'm excited about.
March 15th.
The attendance there is looking good. I think I saw somewhere in the 70 to 80 range last time.
We're at least in the 80 range last I checked. So,
yeah, so that's going to be great.
Yep. And that's going to be a quite the mix of knowledge there as well, because if you're not aware, the Global MVP Summit is the 12th and the 14th in Redmond as well. So
perfect timing.
I've already poked my head into that registration list a little bit to see
what MVPs are popping over. Yeah, that's gonna be sweet. Yeah, it's right there on the Microsoft campus. I've been in Seattle a couple times for Microsoft conferences, but they've always been in Seattle. I haven't actually been in Redmond, so. But I do know this, Savannah. This is crazy. There is a store on the pier in like in the market in Seattle, and it's the Purple store.
No way.
Everything purple. Yeah.
You're gonna have to do like a marketing photo shoot out
front. I know. It's like I'm gonna have to find some time. My timing is tight because I fly in late, and it's like a whole deal. But I'm hoping like right after I can just bust over to Seattle Market and hang out at the Purple store.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And then obviously there's you should check out Doug online, so dynamicusersgroup.com and the Doug Hub, because there's a lot going on there. Too much to talk about in this episode, but that's another time we can just dive into all the different.
That events calendar actually has all the local and regional meetups on there as well. So definitely a good resource for keeping up on all that. So.
You bet. Yep. Cool, man. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out here in Denver. And we see anybody in Seattle? Anybody from Doug going to be there?
I believe you will see Molly.
Right on. Cool.
So,
awesome.
At least Molly.
Yeah. You never know. You were like a last minute ad in Dallas.
I did show up in Dallas. For a local, and it was great.
Yeah, it was
great because it was cold when I left here. It's just a little cold and dreary, and then when I came back, I went to sleep, and then I woke up and there was like 4 inches of snow on the ground. So it was a great welcome back to Ohio. So.
Yeah.
Never know what you're gonna get.
Yep. like I said, 72 today, so
Right.
I'll take it.
Won't complain.
Cool.
Well, cool. I think that's maybe all we have for you today. So thanks for joining us again. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, Ryan. Take care, and we'll see you soon, man.
Yeah. Cool.
Sounds good.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thanks, guys.